somebody. I mean, if you have a friend who's currently in a toxic relationship or whatever it is, I would advise not to say it to them because that's only going to make it worse and they will snap back at you. You think the other person doesn't like you. They say they love you. They say all the right things, but they make you feel right. They make you feel like small. They don't like you. Yes. And that's a big difference. When I was younger about a girlfriend, it was always said to me that a girlfriend is supposed to complement your life. It's not supposed to take it over. When you meet somebody, what you can't see is their luggage. What he meant by luggage is the baggage that they carry with them through life. Some people are just assholes, and that's the truth. They just like to spread misery wherever they go, and you're going to come across these people in daily life. That's what they want. They want to change you. They want to destroy you because toxic people are created by other toxic people. It's like a virus. The toxic people tend to be quite manipulative and very good at pretending everything's all right and apologizing. And hi guys, welcome along to another edition of Gary and Susie talking. We're glad you like it. We're getting loads of feedback and people seem to really enjoy it. It's just two people. We're a couple. I'm Gary. That's Susie. I'm from Ireland. She's from Bulgaria, and we just talk about stuff. And people send in things that we should talk about that they would like to hear, and we do that. So tonight's topic is
why we stay in toxic environments.
Why do we stay in toxic environments? Yes. Well, I think everybody out there has been in at least one in their lifetime.
Yes, right. This can be toxic relationships, yes. Toxic workplace, toxic friendships, toxic families.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yes, everyone. As you said, everyone stayed in something toxic.
Absolutely, there's toxic
everyone has
people.
Experience in.
Yeah, and it all starts with toxic people, and they are everywhere. As you said, in friendships, in relationships, in workplace, just in daily life, and it's important to, I suppose, protect yourself against them. And if anyone has the answer for that, please send it in to us on a postcard because it's life, isn't it? There's toxic people everywhere, and I think it's important to condition kids. As they're growing up to know that they're going to come across these people for sure. They're going to come across them certainly in the workplace. They're going to come across them in college and school, in their daily life, and you have to be resilient against them, and you have to also identify who they are. That can be really, really hard because some toxic people are master manipulators, and before you know it, you're about 2 years into a friendship or a relationship before you actually go, oh my God, I think they're toxic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because toxic doesn't start toxic. So we enter. It starts small, and something feels off after. So, do you think most people ignore the first warning signs on purpose?
I think they can go undetected. I think it's not that they ignore them; they just don't see them.
Why is she snoring?
She's snoring. Lily's snoring.
I think it's because she's not comfortable.
Well, I think it's because she's dressed up like a bunny rabbit. I mean, I have to point this out that Lily is already ready for Easter. The poor thing. She wants to go to sleep because she's dealing with toxic parents. Right? Very toxic people.
We're gonna get to toxic parents now.
Toxic pets.
Lily's traumas. We're going to discuss about Lily's traumas.
Yeah, Lily's trauma. Lily's got plenty of trauma. She didn't eat her lunch today. So anyway, back to the question. Does it go undetected?
First warning, yeah.
Yeah, the first warning. Of course, you're not going to notice it because people are complicated, So if you're in a relationship and you've just started in a relationship, I mean, you're only looking for the good in people. It's just natural to do that. You're looking for the good in people. And there's various factors about you that go into that relationship. So you can absolutely look past certain things. The early signs, you might notice them, but you don't think they're important because the more important thing is that you like this person and you're attracted to them and you think it's going to work out. And also the problem people make is that they think they can change people. And you can't change people. Some people can't even change themselves. So when you go into a relationship, you need your eyes wide open.
We ignore red flags.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly in the relationship sense. When it comes to, say, workplace toxic people, you can flag it pretty quickly. I think because there's no emotion involved. It's just another colleague for most time, especially a boss. It's quite noticeable from the very beginning. You can read people quite well, and you know that you're going to have trouble with this person. So it depends on the situation about how to detect it early on, but certainly in relationships, you look past these things, and it's human to think that it'll iron itself out or I can change them or whatever, but never happens, and it normally only ever gets worse. You know.
Yeah. We often confuse what feels familiar with what is actually safe.
Mm.
Do you think that's why some people feel uncomfortable in healthy environments but relaxed in unhealthy ones? Do you think that's why they stay?
That's a tough one. But everybody's different. You see, it's one of these things that's very, very complicated, and there's no blanket answer for everybody. I think people find themselves in toxic situations. It's just gets to a point where, um, it's like the lobster boiling in the pot, or sorry, the frog. The frog or lobster? It's a frog.
I think it's a frog.
It's a frog. It doesn't know it's boiling until it's boiling, so it can happen. Toxic people tend to be quite manipulative and very good at pretending everything's all right and apologizing and saying that they're never going to do it again, and this is what happens. And of course you're going to believe them because you have feelings and you're in deep at that stage, so you give them a second chance and a third chance and a fourth chance, and before you know it, you're stuck in the middle of a tornado. It's all going around you, and you're in the middle of it, and you think everything's okay, but your friends and your family and colleagues and everything can see a total change in your demeanor, who you are. That's what they want. They want to change you. They want to destroy you, because toxic people are created by other toxic people. It's like a virus. They pass it on.
What about workplace? You don't have feelings in workplaces.
No, you don't, but you get other feelings, other emotions. You get jealousy. You might be very, very good at your job, and believe it or not, some bosses don't like that. They don't like to see people who are good at their job. They might see you as a threat. It's their own insecurities speaking up. Some people are just assholes, and that's the truth. They just like to spread misery wherever they go, and you're going to come across these people in daily life. And there's various ways to deal with them, but unfortunately, by the time you figure out how to do that, you're middle aged. It'd be great to have those skills when you're in your 20s and you're navigating a new career. But unfortunately, experience comes with life. And now, in my 40s now, I don't entertain it at all. The minute I see it, I call it out. But that's something that I'm able to do now, but I wouldn't have been able to do that when I was 20 or 25 or even 30.
The experience comes with the confidence comes with the experience.
Well, the experience comes with dealing with toxic people throughout your life. It's the only way you can really get your head around it. I was sort of protected growing up. I was surrounded by a very loving family, and my friends were all cool people and everything. And I didn't really realize what toxicity was until I got maybe halfway through secondary school, and I realized that not everyone is very nice, and some people are pretty mean. And it's important, I think, for kids to be inoculated against that and warned that there's going to be people out there. Funnily enough, I always remember I had a great teacher in civics class in my secondary school, Mr. Waldron. He was a wonderful man. But he explained to all of us about when you're older, he attempted to tell us about people. And the way he put it was, when you meet somebody, what you can't see is their luggage. And what he meant by luggage is the baggage that they carry with them through life. You can't see it when you meet them. It only becomes clearer to you as you get to know that person more and more. And everybody is carrying baggage. And so the best way to deal with that is to understand that people are complex people, and there's an awful lot that goes into that character, and that they are carrying their own burdens and their own toxicity from maybe a family member. Maybe they were raised by a very strict father, or maybe there was alcoholism in the family, or whatever it is. They're carrying it with them. So as you get older, you navigate life knowing that. But it was an important lesson to learn when you're young. So I realized, I realized everybody was a complex character. So to identify the people with the most baggage and to adjust myself accordingly.
Yeah. How they make you feel, how people workplace or
Some people like to hurt you, because they're hurting themselves. They want to see other people hurting with them. They want the company. Like I said, toxic people create toxic people. That's what happens.
okay. Family and early patterns. People say family is everything, but nobody teaches you what to do when family hurts you quietly. So, is it possible that when we normalize things in families that we would never accept anywhere else? And why it's so hard to admit that something wasn't okay, even if there was a love?
Yeah, well, of course, there's toxicity in families, majorly so. Some families are riddled with it. And the reason people get away with it is because, there is that unbreakable bond of family. between you and your sister, your brother, and your mother and father, or whatever, cousins, whatever it may be, whoever you're close to. You forgive an awful lot because you sort of have to. You only get one family. You can't choose your family. So you forgive an awful lot, and you deny an awful lot. You pretend it's not happening. Um,
Maybe
and
that's the hardest. Sorry to interrupt you, but that's maybe the hardest to walk away from. You know,
but
you can
how
walk
can you
away
walk away
from
from your
work.
family?
You can walk away from relationships.
You can walk away from a relationship and a friendship, but I mean, it's very difficult to walk away from your family. People do it. I mean, people totally cut off contact.
Toxic. It's toxic. Like
Yeah, but it takes an awful lot to get to that point where you're going to cut off contact with somebody who you have, a shared history with, a real shared history. You're born into that family, so. But like, it's worth it if that person is ruining your life. Um, why should you be a martyr? As hard as it is, you have to figure out the best way out of that. Protect yourself. Because if you don't protect yourself, you'll only end up probably taking it out on those closer to you on the other end. So, you'll end up taking it out on your wife or your girlfriend, or your boyfriend, or your husband, or your kids. So, like I said, toxic people create toxic people. Because you put even the nicest person under immense pressure, they're gonna snap at people closer to them that maybe aren't asking for it at all.
And control often hides behind concerns and care. How can people tell what's the difference between genuine care and control?
Well, see, that's the where the rubber meets the road, isn't it? Because it's hard to tell. I think people outside of the relationship, this is in a relationship sense, people outside of the relationship will see it probably before you do. Because there is a type of person that wraps up caring wraps up toxicity in the caring attitude. So it's like, I'm only looking out for you. That's one of the tricks they do. It's like, no, this is the best thing for you to do. They're trying to fuck up your life. But they do it in the softly way. So you think that they're helping you, but they're not. They're destroying you.
How do we know though when something is toxic? What are the signs of toxicity? What is
Look,
toxic? Being in a toxic, okay, let's say work or toxic relationship. What is it?
Well, I mean,
How it's making you feel?
I got great advice when I was younger about a girlfriend. It was always said to me that a girlfriend is supposed to complement your life. It's not supposed to take it over. Same goes for a boyfriend or a husband or a wife. You're supposed to complement each other. So you're supposed to have a shared goal and a shared vision, and there's going to be bumps across the way in the road, but you have to accept each other as you are. And if somebody is constantly belittling the other person, or in any way belittling, I mean, like, we've been together for 5 years now, and I've never done that to you, and you've never done it to me, because we don't want to hurt each other, and that's healthy. I have been in relationships in the past, as I'm sure you have, and everyone watching this has been, in relationships where it's almost like, you think the other person doesn't like you. They say they love you. They say all the right things, but they make you feel
right.
they make you feel like
small.
they don't like you.
Yes.
And that's a big difference. And they hold you with that promise of love where they're like, oh, I love you. And, I'll always be here for you. And you need me because without me, you're lost. And it turns into slowly but surely belittling you. And you go, Jesus, I know they love me, but do they even like me? And that's when you know there's a problem. Because you shouldn't be thinking those things at all. It shouldn't be entering your mind. If you have a problem, you bring it to me and we figure it out. That's how this works, So I think that's a pretty huge sign that you're in the wrong relationship. And by the way, if you're in a relationship and these things are happening, it's not always that the other person is toxic. It could be just you're not right for each other, and neither of you know how to deal with it. Because we're all capable of toxicity. We're all capable of it. I'm sure I did it in the past in relationships. Actually, I'm sure I did in my 20s. I was a bit of an arsehole.
How do I know if I'm toxic? How am I?
I don't know. I don't know because I've never been like that. I'm assuming toxic people know they're at least unhappy, because you have to be unhappy to be toxic. Yes, you have to be somewhere in your psyche unhappy. If you're in a workplace scenario and you're being toxic with your staff or with your colleagues, it speaks to, I guess, um, your own lack of belief in yourself. Uh, it's not how I was trained in any job I've ever done. I've always been about lifting everybody up because a rising tide lifts all boats. So I don't see the point in hurting people around me because then the whole place will suffer and then I'll suffer. So it's a bit stupid. But some people love the drama. You know, they love it. They love the arguments. They love belittling people. They like a power trip. People love a power trip. Yeah. But the best bosses I ever had were not like that at all. The best bosses I had done all the jobs in the company before they got to be the boss. So they understood everyone's uh, daily challenges. So they were just better to work with. But some people got there by accident and they are a nightmare because they probably don't feel they deserve it and they take it out on their subordinates. Lily's fast asleep.
Lily's snoring.
I hope you're not fast asleep.
She doesn't look comfortable. That's why she's snoring.
She's cozy. She's cozy.
Okay, what about toxicity in the family?
Well, I was just saying that we talked about toxicity in the family. It's a really tricky one because, as I said, you're tied to each other.
Yeah.
You know, you're tied through blood and bonds and genetics and things like that. So that's a tougher one to walk away from. But many people do, and it's probably the best thing they've ever done in their life. But it can cause other problems. I mean, if you have a problem with another person in your family, everybody gets involved. You know, it's not like work where you have a problem with somebody and you can walk away and get a new job. You're stuck with your family, so everybody gets involved.
There is always relief when I talk with people that they are out of toxic relationship work. It's always very hard to leave, but after they left, it's this kind of relief they have.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Like it's like you can't leave. Like you're so scared.
The hardest thing is leaving. The hardest bit is the leaving. 6 months later, you look back and go, that's the best thing I ever did. Maybe a year. Because look, people forget, you still love this person, you know, even as toxic as they are, you still, you know, you love the familiarity, you love the person, you love whatever it is. And it's hard to walk away from that. And also say to yourself, well, I'm making the right decision because you've just had years of somebody telling you you don't know how to make good decisions.
Yeah.
So it's exactly. A really, really hard one to get out of.
What about is the next one is worse? Like you say, okay, this is toxic, but what about the next one is it's worse than this one?
Well, then, you know, you gotta sit down and have a little word with yourself about your type. You know? And that's, I hope, when your friends come in and say, listen, pal, you need to start looking elsewhere for the personality traits that you want in your life.
Maybe you meet the toxic people until you heal and you decide and you learn, okay, this is not toxic, and then you meet the right person.
Yeah, I mean, you see other people going around happy in their relationships, but of course, nobody knows what goes on behind closed doors. Nobody has a clue what goes on in people's lives.
Yes. Especially with social media now, everyone is very happy and everyone is...
Well, they pretend they're happy. You know, nobody's that happy, you know, and if you're really, really happy, are you going on Instagram every 5 minutes? I don't think so. I think if you're pretty happy, you're just, you know, cooking a steak, drinking a glass of wine, just relaxing.
That's the plan for tonight.
That's what we're doing tonight because... we're not toxic.
Okay, part 5 is why we don't leave. People stay only because they fear leaving or because they are scared to admit that they were wrong.
That's like I said. It's you're scared to admit. Look, it's a million things. And I don't know. I was never in a massively toxic relationship, but I have been in scenarios and situations. And it's a weird one as well, because most people, when you say this toxic relationship, they think man controlling woman. It works both ways. There's toxic women, there's toxic men. And it's hard to get out of that for things I said earlier on, for sure. Because you're tied to that person and they've convinced you that you're pretty stupid. So, you know, like, do you know what I mean? If somebody tells you you're stupid and then you go and try and make a life-changing decision, like getting rid of that person, you start to go, am I really stupid? You know, so it's a tough one. It's like, you know, it's like a barbed wire. You know, the more you try and get out of it, the more it hurts. You know, the more you move, the more it hurts. So it's difficult.
Do you think you have a toxic trait?
I'm sure I do. Yeah, absolutely. Everybody has toxic traits.
Would you tell me 3 of them?
I don't know if I'm going to go on YouTube and tell everyone my toxic traits, if I'm honest with you.
Okay, you can tell about my toxic trait.
You don't have any, my dear. You are perfection in human form. You're quite literally an angel walking this earth. I don't know. I mean, what is toxic? you know, like we all have hang-ups, I guess. I like things done my way, but at the same time, I'm quite happy to go along with Susie's way. Like this,
That never happens.
like sitting down on YouTube and talking is not my idea; it's Susie's idea. I was talking about a person earlier on that would like a glass of red wine and cook a steak. That's this guy. Going on YouTube and talking about toxic people, that's that girl. So we have hang-ups, you know. I'm messy, and, you know, I'm prone to some laziness every now and then. Procrastination. But these are hang-ups. They're not toxic traits. I mean, I don't go out of my way to hurt you.
That's toxic. I think that's.
I don't like. It's not toxic. I don't like. Neither of us go out of our way to hurt each other or belittle each other. We lift each other up as much as we can. And when you know the shit hits the fan, we can talk like adults, you know, and figure it out together.
Yes.
This is the wrong example because of all the relationships I've had, there's no toxicity here. And if you disagree, I'm going to tell you you're stupid. Right? Don't disagree with me.
Maybe I'm so good that you don't realize.
Yes, you're perfect.
Like I'm good in manipulation.
She is very good at manipulation. But I think that's just because she's... They're very clever. They're smarter than men. Always remember that in life. Any boys listening, women are smarter than men.
What would you tell to people that they're in a toxic relationship and toxic work or
nothing
friendship?
Nothing. I would tell them nothing because they're not going to listen to me.
Maybe they will.
No. They don't listen to you. They hear it from everybody and they ignore it. You know, you're in denial. So there's no point in banging on with somebody. I mean, if you have a friend who's currently in a toxic relationship or whatever it is, I would advise not to say it to them because that's only going to make it worse and they will snap back at you. I would come up with more creative ways, I suppose, to alert them to their situation, like pointing out other people and saying, oh, did you hear about so-and-so and so-and-so? They're heading off on a holiday and they're great together. I love them. They're great. And I'm just, you know, try and show them new things very subtly, but absolutely confronting people who are in a toxic relationship just never ends well.
Like quietly open their eyes in a different ways.
If you can get access to them, because you know a lot of people are. One of the problems with toxic relationships is when they try and cut off friendships. You know, that's a huge red flag when you know your girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife hates your friends. That's, you know, that's a pretty big red flag. I mean, you can have a problem with one or two of them, that's grand, but you also respect the fact that let's say, give you an example. If you had a girlfriend or something that I didn't particularly like, for whatever reason, I just didn't like her, I would just let you know I didn't like her, but it would end there. I wouldn't be telling you to not listen to her or don't meet her for a coffee and, you know, I don't want anything to do with her, you're finished with her. That's where you start being into your toxic areas. You know, you just go, I don't really like that person, but it's your friend, you know, you do what you like. So that's normal.
It's kind of being in a relationship, but having your freedom as well to.
Yeah, you have to have
your choices in your life.
You have to have freedom. Like I said earlier on, the best advice was a partner complements your life. It doesn't take it over, you know. And it's important to have satellite relationships. So you'll have friendships and family relationships and things like that. Because if you don't have those things, you go insane and you cut yourself off from everybody. That's, you know, that's not a good idea.
Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you for Lily. Lily says thank you.
What is Lily's toxic?
Lily's toxic trait is cuddles. She won't leave you alone. And if you don't cuddle her, she ignores you and she makes you feel like shit. She just stares at you until you pick her up and cuddle her. Look at this. There's nothing toxic about this dog. Oh, I could eat her. Oh, she's so cute.
She smells like a vanilla popcorn. She smells like, I think only Lily smells like vanilla popcorn.
Everybody loves the smell of their own dog. I'm sure other people would disagree.
But she smells like vanilla.
She smells like vanilla to us. I'm sure to somebody walking down the street, they're like, "Oh, your dog smells like piss."
Maybe this is our toxic trait, that we can't stop smelling Lily. We are smelling Lily all the time.
She's a wee pet. Isn't she? She's a good girl. And she's getting younger by the day. Spoiled rotten. Anyway, guys, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate everybody who watches all the videos. And we'll be talking about something else next week. But for now, do like and subscribe. And if you liked with the video, please watch the other ones that are listed down below or beside or wherever. I don't know, whatever way you're doing it. And we'll keep doing them for you.
Yes, we have a new video every Wednesday and every Sunday.
There you go. So right now, it's time for steak and wine.
And
Good
we
night.
have the live cookings as well. Bye.
We have live cooking. Yeah. I was saying bye, and she's like, no, we got more to do. We got more to talk about. See you guys.